Hey, what's up, everyone? I had a knife shopping adventure today. I bought something that I've been wanting for a while, and what's cool is that it's not an expensive knife. It's actually a pretty cheap knife. It is the CRKT S.P.E.W. Not sure if you've seen that before. It's a fixed blade knife that was designed by Alan Foltz. I think it was probably several years ago by CRKT. And I've been looking at it, and I thought it would be a really cool self-defense knife. That's my main reason for getting it. But, can be pressed into utility also. This is not a super, super high-quality knife. It is not a something that's got, like, great features and whatnot, but I will go over it for you. So this came with the plastic sheath. Not Kydex or anything. Plastic sheath, a plastic belt clip, screws and washers to attach that, and it came with a paracord rope to put around your neck. Now, I don't like paracord rope because if you think about it, 550 paracord, that means the break strength is 550 pounds. It takes a lot less poundage to strangle you, so I really don't like having something like that around my neck. If I was going to wear a neck knife, when I have worn neck knives, I use ball chains because a ball chain will break before you get strangled to death. Paracord will just keep going and going and going until the life is strangled out of you. Not a good thing to have. I would not recommend putting paracord around your neck or anything like that. Bad idea. So, let's take a look at this knife. Now, as I said before, this is not a super duper high quality knife, but I do think it's a very well designed knife. It has a 3-inch blade. It's 3-inch Warncliffe blade. It's like a stone washed finish. Now the blade steel, in case you're wondering, is I believe 5CR15 MOV. So it's a pretty soft, low quality steel. I believe the Rockwell hardness is like 57 on it. So really nothing to write home about as far as that. Now on the bright side, it'll be very easy to sharpen and keep the edge up, which is a good thing because you're going to be doing it often if you use it frequently. I like that it has a nice pointy blade. You have to puncture a package to open it. Pretty good. The scales are actually made out of G10. I thought it might have been like a micarta from looking at it. But they're actually G10. They have a very nice texture and kind of almost kind of like a Picatinny rail sort of thing on here. But of course, it's not as aggressive or anything as that. You can see that it is full tang. The blade stock is about a tenth of an inch wide, and then it's just very slightly chamfered along the edges, and everything seems to match up very, very well. And then there's a little bit of jimping along the side here, so you can get a pretty good grip on it. Now, over here you can tell my index finger, my hands are probably a little bit bigger than normal. My index finger seats in here very, very nicely, and then you have the jimping here. And I can get, basically 3 fingers on this part right here, up to this part, pretty well. And really my pinky even kind of sits there too. Now, if I kind of squeeze down on it, then my pinky kind of goes off there, and I have the lanyard. Another thing, usually I'm not a big fan of lanyards. This one I like. It's kind of got this braided look to it, and it's thick enough so that it actually does feel like it adds to the purchase on the knife, which I really like quite a bit. So my goal for this is to wear it horizontally and kind of in the front. I'm not a big fan of wearing them in the back, so I'll wear this in the front. I'll have the handle to my right, so if I need to, I can just draw it, and all will be right with the world. So, like I said, this is about a 3-inch blade. Yeah, we're looking at about a 3-inch blade here. And then this, let's see, the whole shebang here is 3, 6, it's a little over 6 inches. It's like maybe 6 1/8 inch from the tip of the blade to the end of this handle here. And then you have maybe about 1 1/4 inch of this thick braided lanyard, which I think is pretty cool. Now, as for the sheath, it's just a hard plastic. The retention on the sheath is very good. Now, again, it's new. Most of the time they are good. when they're new, and if they're not, you got some major issues. The belt clip, this didn't come on there, by the way. It came separately, because I guess a lot of people might use it as a neck knife, but I prefer to have it horizontally on my belt. This was actually kind of interesting. I am ashamed to say this, but it actually took me a minute to figure it out. It came with 2 Phillips head screws, and then it came with these rubber washers right in here, and then it came with these like pins that you put the screw into, and they're threaded. So at first I was putting them together, and I said, this is not going to grip. How the heck is this supposed to work? But then I figured it out. Basically, you just, put the pins through, then you put the washers in there, you tighten it, and then as you tighten it, these things squish, adds tension here, and again, all is right with the world. This locks in very, very well. And the other thing I like is when you move the sheath around, there is a very, very tiny amount of rattle, but it's almost imperceptible. Like if you just kind of listen to this, you don't hear anything, but usually now you're not hearing anything actually. But let's say almost no rattle in the sheath, which is really good. I have a saw gambit, which is pretty cool. And the only problem with the gambit is that it has a sheath like this, and there is some rattle in the sheath. I suspect that the reason for that is because the blade is about maybe 2.4 or 2.5 inches, and the handle on the gambit is got to be about 4.5 inches. With this one, there's a very close ratio to the size of the handle and the size of the blade, and the blade is extremely narrow, as is the handle. Whereas with the gambit, you kind of have a wider blade that's short and then a very long handle. So I think that weight differential kind of maybe contributes to a little rattling. The other thing with this is that it weighs only 2.7 ounces, so it's pretty light. Basically, very nice knife, and it's only $20.97. I'm actually going to put a link to this. I have an Amazon affiliate program, so I'm going to put a link to that in the description if you're interested. And you click that link, I do get like a couple of percent in there. But even if you're not going to buy it through my link, I mean, hey, do what you want. It's kind of worth checking out if you're interested in it. Read some of the reviews and whatnot. It is a very cool knife. Lately, I've been getting into fixed blade knives a lot. Just today, I carried my SOG Instinct. If you haven't seen my SOG Instinct video, I made it like 6 years ago. Check that out. It's a very cool knife. The only issue with it is I bought the skeletonized version, and it's a little too small. And I feel like when I pull it out, I'm not really getting enough purchase on the handle. Other than that, I like it a lot. It's just that one thing that bothers me. But with this one, I mean, you can see it has that indentation for the finger. It's like you just squeeze this and it pops right out. And then you have that excellent purchase where your index finger goes. You get your other 2 fingers on here, the pinky on the lanyard, and you get the jimping at the top. I feel like I have a very secure grip on this. And like I said, for $21, I think it's pretty good. I like it. If I had to give it a rating, I'd say definitely 2 thumbs up. So check it out. It is the CRKT S.P.E.W. I would tell you what S.P.E.W. stands. Actually, you know what? It's right here on the package. It stands for Small Pocket Everyday Wharncliffe. I think that's kind of a little bit of a reach there. And there's some of the information that they give you there. Like I said, that is, like I said, the 5CR15 MOV. I'm proud of myself remembering that. It's not stone washed on the blade. It's actually bead blast, 1/10 of an inch blade thickness. And actually, you know what? The Rockwell hardness is actually less than I thought. I thought it was about 57. It's actually 55 to 57. So I'll just hold this here for a second so you can pause and take a look at it. And there's what it looked like before I tore it open. And just so you know, I hope if you do purchase this, this is not your first knife, because you're going to have some trouble getting it open because it's a little bit of a pain in the neck. But fortunately, it's not my first knife. I've been to this rodeo before. Well, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you subscribe. And if you like it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up so I have an idea what you guys like to watch and not watch and whatnot. So have a good one.